is all that's left of us. But only if you ever worried. While the signs were clear, they had no idea. You just get used to living in fear. I'll give up when you can't even picture your future.
Hey, what's up YouTube? Evan from Epic Duel Time here. I am doing a hey, check this out video for you guys. This one's gonna be on Dino Rabbit. My personal experience with Dino Rabbit's kind of extensive. I know the deck very well. I've played it since it first came out, a few formats ago. I remember it when Rabbit was at 3, Tour Guide was at 3, Sandgang was legal, Tour Bus was still kind of a thing, Windups could loop, and Zectors were like crazy broken. Everything was kind of nutty back then, and there's a lot of really good decks. And it was just a very weird time. Opening Rabbit Tour Guide was basically game. People weren't really familiar with how to beat the deck. It was very, very broken. Priority was around, so you really couldn't do much to the Rabbit. All you could do was warning it or judgment it. So it was it was a very awkward time. It wasn't a particularly wonderful time in Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of people were very upset about it because it was kind of that rock, paper, scissors where it had the good matchup against Insectors, had the really shitty matchup against Windups. Opening Maxi basically meant you were safe for only one turn until you could like set up a Dolka play or something. Like, it was really weird, and it wasn't a particularly fun time in Yu-Gi-Oh! To play. But at the same time, it was a time. So either way, I'm gonna stop ranting about the past and talk about the future. What we can tech in Dino Rabbit now. So, first is Thunder King Rio. And believe it or not, this is still kind of one of those, like, oh, do I play Guaiba or Rio? And to that I say both. You should play both, because Rio is amazing, and Guaiba is amazing. Guaiba is really good, and if you ever read any of Joe Gianlando's articles on ARG, he discusses why Guaiba is so amazing. It's a dinosaur. It has an amazing effect. It's the perfect card combined with Lance. But at the same time, Thunder King's also really good because you realize that it's the ultimate controller. He's 1900, means very little gets over him. So many plays right now still involve searching. Windups are very search heavy right now. They're relying on being able to search with factories to increase the consistency of their plays. Stuff like that. So I definitely think that, you know, when you have like Fire Fists are searching the Tenkis, spellbooks are all search. So when you look at, you know, decks that are meta, will be meta, might be meta, you want to be able to prepare for that and have a, you know, kind of a maneuverable playing field. Rio definitely shuts down a lot of opponents' options, controls the board, while you set your plays up and get ready for a good game, and get ready for, you know, your next, you know, you play Rio turn 1, you've got your, you know, turns 3 through 5, 2 through 5, I should say, are going to be a lot easier. If you can set up while your opponent's plays are a little harder to set up. It means if you open a Rio, but you've got a couple vanillas in your hand, it's going to be a whole lot, it's going to be a lot better than if you didn't have that Rio. Next, Manator. Now, for those of you guys who know me pretty well, you know I'm a huge fan of Spirit Reaper. This format, I wouldn't suggest it. Everything that can make a 4, including windups, which are using 2 Papilloperative. Papilloperative is not Spirit Reaper's friend. It's really not. And while Spirit Reaper will survive if it's face down and you flip it, Papilloperative doesn't instantly pop it, because it only targets once instead of what we thought was targeting twice. The problem is that I'm just going to leave your Reaper with 0 attack points, and I'm just going to sit there and attack over it. I'd rather the Manator. He already has 0 attack points. And when they flip it, I'm just going to kill Papilloperative, or their biggest monster. So, actually, I'm really not worried about it. It also is good if you have, like, a dead Tour Guide, or any dead level 3 in your hand, and you want, like, a dead Knight Assailant or something, and you've got your Manator. Instead of setting it, you can just summon it and go into, like, a Leviair or a Leviathan or something, and be able to make a play with it. Reaper's a lot less... You're less likely to do that, simply because Reaper has all sorts of uses. The problem with Reaper is that it doesn't really net you anything if your opponent has a bigger monster than you do. It's just gonna provide a shield. Manator isn't a shield. He gets rid of a problem card, which is most likely going to be a monster. And you're going to make a play off of him. You don't really want to play off of a Reaper. You want to play off of a Snow Manator. He's also a wall. He's 1900. He's a wall in himself. So if a Thunder King attacks it, you're just going to kill it. And he's still there. So, kind of a useful little trick. I'm a huge fan of Snow Manator. I like it. A splashable card in anything that can basically make a rank 3. But also, in a deck like Dino Rabbit, that really could use that extra monster removal. Speaking of monster removal, I want to talk about Shield Crush. Now, Shield Crush is kind of the awkward cousin of Soultaker. Why I compare it to Soultaker is that it solves the same problem, but it goes where Soultaker can't, and Soultaker goes where Shield Crush can't. Shield Crush kills a defense position monster. It doesn't have to be face up. Soultaker requires the monster to be face up, also gives them life points. So, if they've got like a Raikou or something, and you've got the Shield Crush, and let's say you're main decking one Shield Crush, you've got that Shield Crush in hand, you can just pop it, and that's it. Threat's over. You don't need to analyze what it is. You can just kill it right now. See, Shield Crush is good for that. If you know you're playing against dragons, you know that face down is going to be a Raikou. That might be just a set card trigger to draw a card. If something happened, I don't know if they're top decking or something. But at the same time, you want to be able to clear out those monsters that are defending to be able to make your play and make your push. Soultaker doesn't quite allow you to do that. It doesn't let you push the same way that Shield Crush does. Shield Crush and Soultaker cover different things, which is why I still think, for my next card, you should play Soultaker. These are out of order, but either way. But before I go to Soultaker and why that card's amazing, level limit area B. Change all face-up level 4 or higher monsters to defense position. This is really good. Now you're going to say, well, half of my shit is level 4. Most of it's level 4. Yes, and you're not going to leave it that way. You're going to turn them into Exceeds. And the thing about making them Exceeds monsters is that they're going to be stuck. Their monsters are going to be stuck in this, like, they can't really change their battle position, and they can't exceed because it's not fast enough. All your stuff's viable to exceed. So you're just going to sit there cranking out Lagias, Dulkas, Utopia, whatever, level, rank 4 you're going to want to make. And you'll be able to get over it. Maybe not a Utopia, because I don't think they're going to be attacking too much. But either way. And then Soultaker. I already kind of touched on this. Target a monster, kill it, and then target a face-up monster, kill it, and then your opponent gets 1,000 life points. This is really good as a Thunder King remover. It's really good to get big problem monsters off the field. Obviously, we know it as a card that helps miss the timing. Things like Light Pulsar Dragon, Elemental Hero the Shining, any monster that basically has a win this card, rather than an if this card. So, you're definitely going to want to be able to make your big push and not have to worry about their big monster or their control monster. So it's a really important piece of removal that helps you set yourself up to be able to win the game. Again, you do have to take into account that they're about to get 1,000 life points, but in Yu-Gi-Oh! 1,000 life points isn't a ton, especially if what you're getting out of it is way worth giving them 1,000 life points. Okay, so that's the video. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what kind of decks you want talked about, what kind of techs you want talked about, and any general advice, criticism, critiques, personal grievances, anything you have to say in the comments below. As always, keep dueling, America.